Hi everyone, this is Rachel from Cyber Sports Network. I'm doing a little bit of promo for the Australian Cyber League Gold Coast Tournament, and one of the first players that they have me interview is Tt.PiG. So, guys, I'd like to introduce you to Jared. Jared, would you like to introduce yourself to everyone?
Hi guys, my ID is Tt.PiG. I'm a 23-year-old Starcraft player. Started playing with Release. And I live in Sydney, Australia.
And how did you find out that you're going to be playing in the Gold Coast ACL tournament?
The event was announced quite a while ago. There's been a good amount of organisation that's gone into it. Derek, or Docs, as he's known, is a big organiser of StarCraft 2 events in Australia, and basically he got on board. ACL got him to help organise everything. So pretty soon after they announced that they were going to be adding StarCraft 2 to their circuit, which was mainly consoles and FPS, there were announcements all over the web. There was a series of qualifiers held, and I managed to come in second in the points in those overall. So it's something I've been looking forward to for a while. The prize pool isn't that massive, but it's looking to be something that's an ongoing circuit all around Australia. Something like when MLG started up, the prize pool wasn't that impressive, but it's something that's just grown and grown. So I'm really excited to be playing in it.
Yeah, that sounds really exciting. If it's anything like MLG here in the U.S., then we can hope for a big explosion of attention on esports down in Southeast Asia and Australia. So you mentioned that you played in some qualifiers leading up to this tournament. Who did you play against? Were there any big names that are also trying to qualify?
Yeah, pretty much everyone that is part of the top competitive scene in Australia was competing. They kind of paired up some tournaments, that LAN events that were already going to be on as the ACL qualifiers. So there was one that was actually just around the corner from my house, which was kind of handy. Moonglade came down and actually won that. So I did have to, he actually knocked me out of the upper bracket finals, and I did end up placing third in that against Mafia, XG King Mafia. He's starting to get more well-known in the international scene. He's been doing well in some playhams and such. I also went to the Adelaide tournament where I actually did really poorly, but then in the online qualifier I managed to come second behind Moonglade, once again getting knocked out by him in the upper bracket finals and the grand finals. So Moonglade's definitely the guy that's standing in my way at the moment.
Well, like you said, there are very few people in the Southeast Asian scene that are kind of known globally, but you're one of the names that's definitely been passed around on a global scale. So what exactly have you been competing in that's brought you such attention?
To be honest, I think, I guess I haven't really been fully competitive about StarCraft 2 for that long. There was a time where I was coaching full-time. I was playing when I could in tournaments, but my successes were very few and far in between. So when I did kind of swap back to going, I want to be absolutely 100% pro gamer, put all my effort into this, it's been probably not even 6 months since then. Obviously, I've started to have more success. I did manage to win the Southeast Asian qualifier for IEM Guangzhou. Didn't do very well at all over there, very unprepared for an international tournament, got almost no time to play in the few days before that, so didn't really give a good showing, but that got me known in the region. And from there, being picked up by TT Esports, I have been playing in a lot of LANs. I've managed to place in the top 3 in quite a lot of Southeast Asian and local tournaments. I haven't really been playing many overseas tournaments. There's a lot of time difference issues and lag issues, especially on the NA server. But I have been pushing my way up the Korean ladder. I am up at the same level as many of the really well-known international pros up at the top of Masters. So I'm kind of pushing my way up. I still think I've got a really long way to go. I don't think I deserve as much attention as I am getting at the moment. For me, it's something where I just want to focus on my play and constantly improve. But I do think it's really good that I'm getting this recognition just for putting as much into the game as I am. I'm still constantly streaming, coaching as much as I can with my training schedule, and just putting everything into the game. So yeah, I'm pretty much just 100% committed.
Well, who have you been practicing with? I'm sure you've managed to attract some great partners now that you're a member of TT. And like you said, you've been playing on the Korean ladders. Are there any reoccurring players or people that you make a point to play against?
There's a couple of guys, just not really too well-known players. There is a new FXO player, a Terran Korean guy who I do practice with a little bit. Mainly it has just been ladder for me. I mean, I've run into a lot of the Code A guys, the Code B guys, and occasionally a Code S player on the ladder. So it's really, really good practice, just basically grinding out ladder as hard as I can. And I do have a lot of the top Southeast Asian players I practice with when I do want to work on specific builds. Players like Iaguz, Yunwei, occasionally a couple of games with Moonglade, and then other players who aren't necessarily so well known, but because they don't play in so many tournaments, but there is actually quite a lot of talent in Southeast Asia. So there's a lot of players who I practice with who people don't really recognize them as these top names, but they're actually really, really amazing practice partners.
Well, like you said, you also do coaching. Is there anything you think you've learned from coaching that maybe you wouldn't learn from regular practice? Something from teaching people the game themselves?
Yeah, I think coaching really helped me understand the game more. I'd never really been a part of any online community or anything until StarCraft 2 came out, so I didn't even know how to use a forum. I didn't really know how to communicate strategies about the game, except, talking to my brother or someone like that in person about how Marines were really good, really basic stuff. So getting into just talking about the game, communicating across forums was something that helped me learn a lot. Watching Artosis on GSL was something which helped me really understand the amount of work I had to put into to improve at the game and keep moving up the ranks. Then when I started coaching and I started realizing there's so many other aspects that I'd still been ignoring in the game, and really analyzing people's replays taught me how to look at my own macro just with a really, really critical eye, and how to just perfect absolutely everything, how to make every build order perfect, how to come up with reactions, how to be safe to things. And when you've got students constantly asking you, but what if this happens? What if he goes Banshees, or some example? You're constantly being forced to actually question your own builds and make sure you're looking for holes in them. I kind of don't coach as if I'm like just bringing down the word of God, giving people like the exact rules to play. I try to learn as well from my coaching, so I find it's something that's just helped me be so much more critical about the game, and through that I've just become a much better player.
Well, that's a great lesson. Not to detract from the value of your coaching lessons, but is there anything in particular that you'd like to say to someone that is looking to go pro in StarCraft, if there's one piece of advice?
I would definitely say you got to be kind of, if you're in Australia or Southeast Asia, you got to be kind of well set up. You've got to be just passionate about the game to the point where you got to accept that there's not a lot of money in it, and you're going to have to be willing to put all your effort, all your heart into the game, and still expect to not really get much payoff in terms of money or anything like that for quite a few years. Obviously, I mean, I've only been full-time with StarCraft 2 for the last 6 or 8 or 9 months. A lot of that was spent coaching, but I've realized that you get so much out of it if you put everything into it. You get a lot of motivation, a lot of support. Everyone's so nice in the StarCraft 2 community. But if you're someone who's got high living expenses, or you've got monetary problems, you got to be careful hopping into pro gaming, or you're going to have trouble trying to support yourself. You can't win every tournament. It's such a competitive scene. So definitely just be passionate about it, but also make sure you're well set up to survive and keep eating food so you're not poor.
And do you think it's more important for these new players to focus solely on the game, or have we entered a realm where players now have to be very concerned about the personality they're putting out there and the image they cultivate?
I think that's part of it. I think ultimately, though, it's more important to just play really well. But if you are, going to be if you are going to put out an image that isn't as good, you're going to maybe rage a lot or be very bad-mannered, get on the bad side of tournament organizers and such. It's not going to help you along at all. But ultimately, if you're a fantastic player, I don't think it'll hurt you. And I mean, it can help you even by promoting drama. Any PR can be good PR, so ultimately, it's not too big a deal. I think 100% your play is going to be the focus. But I mean, I think if you put out a good image, and if you just you're well mannered, you're really serious about the game, I think people will respect you more, and you'll get more support from it and more recognition.
Well, I think you're a personality that's certainly worth following. You're positive in your play, and you're positive in your image. Where can people keep up with you and follow you as you head into the ACL to compete?
They can follow me on Twitter at Tt.PiG_SC2. Facebook, I do have a Facebook page. People just search up Jared Pig Krensel. And of course, the main way people can follow me, support me, or just if they're curious to watch my play, they can always watch my stream, streaming coaching, ladder tournaments on a daily basis. So that's at Twitch TV/Tt.PiG.
All right, well, thank you so much. I look forward to watching you and everyone else compete in the ACL Gold Coast tournament. That's going to be January 21st and 22nd, and you can watch that at Twitch TV/ACL Pro. Thanks so much, Pig, for coming on to talk to us.